We're back for the final time for the Amiibo Pantheon Tournament Qualifiers. This is it. This is for all the marbles now. We have 7 Amiibos still in contention, and only 3 can get to qualify for the tournament. Group A has already been decided. The only thing that can change there is the placement of everybody involved, with TJ Creed and Akira not participating in this year's festivities. Hermes and Mama Luigi will be locked in a fight in order to determine who will qualify, and it will all come down to their results today. If you recall, Hermes managed to pull a reverse 3-stock on Mama Luigi all the way back in round 3. Could Luigi letting that victory slip end up being the deciding factor? Firebride, Vermilion, and Van Helsing are locked in a 3-way battle to determine who will qualify last out of Group C. And in Group D, Dante and King Cobra will be clashing to see who can get the decisive result they need to send themselves into the final qualifying spot. If you haven't subscribed to the channel at all throughout this journey, I recommend you would, because it really does help out. And you will be able to enjoy the tournament when that comes around at the end of the year. Otherwise, we don't really have anything else to say. We go again for the final time. Let's get into it.
Final round.
We start things off with Big Boss versus Akira. A chance for Akira to maybe get at least 1 win and go out on a high note. But it's Big Boss, so I don't personally see that happening. And Big Boss could have the chance to clinch first place in the group, assuming other results go his way. Okay, I suppose that's one way to get the better of him. Maximilian was able to exploit that in last year's final, but he wasn't able to capitalize on it fully, and neither can this Ken. While we're letting this match play out, I should explain a little bit about the tournament seeding this year. Because unlike last time where we had a randomized seeding, this time around I've gone for a little bit more of an organized system. I'll be putting that up on screen now so that you are able to see the system that we have in play. And going into this last round, I'll also be including what the fixtures look like as a result of this system going into this last round. And I should make it clear, this is not the final fixture list. Things are subject to change with today's results, including Big Boss flattening Akira. This Ken is going to be walking away empty-handed. To think, if Osborne hadn't beaten the Riddler in the last round, this could have been the match to decide the final qualifying spot. But with Riddler losing to Osborne, there's no stakes involved in this one. And that means Osborne can afford to take it easy against a Little Mac who, if anything else, has just been really unlucky. Who knows, he might get a chance next year. But he's gonna have to walk away without any chance of winning anything from the tournament this year. Okay. I guess he was a little sick of that stock. Oh. Is that KO punch gonna... Oh, yeah! That's what we like to see. Oh. Falls out of the power dunk. He's not falling out of that one, though. Oh, nearly. Oh. Unlucky. TJ Creed did give it his all, but Osborne proves why he was the superior qualifier. Ever since DK West qualified, he's just been on a massive losing streak. So this is his chance to at least finish on a win. And Braveheart is an okay opponent to try and get that win against. He may be rejuvenated, but DK West is capable of all sorts of wild and wacky things. That's surely dead. Not the most effective use of his giant form, but they all count in the long run. His form in the tournament is really what matters. And who knows what sort of opponent he'll get by the end of this. This battle is being fought predominantly at the ledge. And Braveheart takes the lead. He is trying everything. He's just throwing out options in hopes that something will kill. Oh! A sweet spot from Braveheart gives him yet another win.
Not an option.
This match will get red hot. Now
The result of this match could have a lot riding on it, to be honest. Mr. T is top of the group, but Fortune and Big Boss are both right behind him. If Mr. T wants to lock in that first place, he needs to win this. And he's not completely unfamiliar with Fortune. He's met him before in the quarterfinals of last tournament. He does have a good percent lead, but he's against a hero, and that could change at any time. I couldn't have made it any clearer. I see this one definitely going down to last stock, because these two are both very good at what they do, in their own unique way. It'll be interesting to see if Mr. T does use that reflector of his, though, because he doesn't seem to use it all that much. As much as he really should. Say what you will about Mr. T, but he is a very clever fighter, basically forcing them into mistakes. And just as I said, it all goes down to the wire here. It bodes well for the tournament itself if this is the sort of stuff in qualifiers that we're getting. And Mr. T gets revenge for the quarterfinal defeat and claims his spot at the top of Group A. This is the final match of Group 8 qualifiers, and it's between two Amiibo that have been on a bit of a run of bad form, so hopefully we'll get a chance to see some last chance redemption, especially for the Riddler, since ever since his massively good start, he pretty much fell off the moment DK West entered the picture. Ice Sprite has been a bit more hit or miss. She has been a solid fighter, and being solid could prove to be a deciding factor. It's certainly proving to be a factor against this Ridley. Alright, gets her with the big stomp. I'm not sure how Peach will fare in this tournament, honestly. She didn't do well against Osborne last year, but ever since this year started, she's been an entirely different character. And she's definitely dominating this match. Peach is not giving him a moment to breathe. And then she gave him a moment to breathe, and it resulted in her losing her next stop. But she has given herself a good position to win here. Oh! The cheekiness from the Riddler. He footstools her and manages to at least give himself one last win. And that should decide everybody in Group A. We begin Group B with a rather interesting fixture. We have Mando and Lin, who have honestly been one of the surprises of the qualifiers, up against the undefeated Maximilian, who sits top of the group and is guaranteed to finish there. He could be the only Amiibo yet to take an L in qualifying, but Mando and Lin have already taken a shock lead thanks to some very good edge guarding. Remember, Maximilian can make it 9 from 9 with a victory today, if only just to flex on the rest of the group. But honestly, you can't really tell what Mando and Lin are gonna do, because when they're in the zone, They honestly seem like they could beat anyone. And remarkably, they're able to keep Maxi at arm's length. And look at him! He can barely get a word in right now. Well, he got a word in there, but he's left himself with a bit of a disadvantage here. That's not the way you want to do things. They were just being a little too greedy. But if they play it right, they could level things up quickly here. Say what you will about them, but they're not the usual Banjos. They're going in hard. No. That was a bit of a pointless parry. So, despite the early scare, Maximilian goes unbeaten in the qualifiers. After his elimination in round 8 at the hands of fellow struggler Mama Luigi, Hurricane is going to want to win this one, if only just to have something to smile about. Frozzo doesn't really have much else to fight for, other than just being a pest. But it's Hurricane who gets the edge first. Oh, brilliant! Frozone will get one back, though. Nice, nice, nice. Hurricane bows out, but he bows out in style. This is it. This is one of the big ones. If Hermes can win this match, then he will be guaranteed to qualify for the tournament. And he's definitely going for it. He knows what's at stake. But if he loses this, then he's going to have to hope that Mira can overcome Mama Luigi when they face each other later on. Facing Darkseid on your last day is not really the sort of thing you want, but I gotta give credit to Hermes. He's definitely making the most out of it. And with Darkseid's penchant for choosing long, laggy moves like up tilt, he might be able to stand a chance, but never underestimate a Ganondorf. This is just a constant rule. Especially this insta-drop Ganondorf, who is hopping around all over the place and gets first blood. Alright, Hermes answering back very quickly, though. He's got to use that ground speed to his advantage. Oh. No, that's not the move you want to use off stage. And that's definitely not the move you want to challenge, either. Alright, Hermes has it all to do. But we've seen him pull off some wild and wacky comebacks before. There may be a very slim chance that Hermes does the double this year. But that does mean that there's still a chance. He just needs to hope that Mira will do him a favor, unless he can pull this one out of the bag. Jeez. A big stomp from Darkseid. All eyes will now be on Mama Luigi. Before we learn the fate of Hermes and Mama Luigi, though, we have a fairly entertaining prelude. We have Colonel Noodles up against Bonesaw. So you know this has to be good. Oh, good stuff from Bonesaw to take the lead. The experience of this Incineroar is shining through against this Min Min, who only really came through this year. It would be wrong to rule her out completely, though. She levels it up briefly. I mean, she started this so badly, but now Bonesaw is being kept at arm's length. At least for a little bit. Oh, good kill. Gets the deep nair to level it up again. And a megawatt Min Min on the last stock. That's not the sort of thing you want to be facing. She's looking for this win. She wants it. How much is that revenge gonna hurt? Not a lot, it turns out, considering it was a trade. And just like that, despite being pushed on the back foot, Colonel Noodles tops things off with a win. This is it for Mama Luigi. This is for all the marbles. He has to beat Mira in order to have any chance of qualifying for the tournament. But that's a pretty tall order because facing Byleth on the last day, that's not an ideal matchup to have at all. Even if you do have the capability of just randomly killing people, he's definitely giving this a good go, though. Oh! Is that a genius strategy? Using the down B to tank Luigi's up B. That could prove to be a decisive factor. This bout is definitely what one would call a must-win. It does help a little that he did face Byleth before. This Byleth in particular. And though he didn't win, he at least pushed it down to the last stock. At least so I think that's how it went. But it's all level again for a little moment longer. As much as I think Luigi does have what it takes to just sneak into 8th, I'm also a little worried for him. Because he is a bit of a choke artist. Mira only really choked against Darkseid, but other than that, she's been very consistently good. So although Luigi does have... well, he did have a foot in the tournament. But now all of a sudden, it's looking to be a little uncertain. Backs are against the wall for the green bean. If he wants to win this, he needs the best string of his life. I would say that Mira is on up B kill percent, or misfire kill percent, really. Oh! Oh! Oh, this is close. This is very tight. Luigi is hanging on for dear life. Oh! Mama Luigi clutches victory. And surely he just barely qualifies. We would have to look at the stock difference, I'd think. But we'll see at the end of the video. After that late Group B drama, we now go into Group C with a very important opening match between Vermilion and MS Hammer. MS Hammer is in contention to top the table, and he's already proving himself with that early stock take. Vermilion needs to win this in order to have any chance of surviving. Otherwise, it's pretty much over for her. It would certainly be a fall from grace not qualifying after finishing in the top 5 last year. But it looks like they're going to give it a go after that sluggish start. Okay, they've actually turned it around on him. And then they decided to go Honor System for the last stop. Honor System in this is never the way to go. Unless they go Charizard and just Flare Blitz him 100 times. Oh. Oh, he's looking for the finisher. Oh! MS Hammer with the decisive hit. He wins, and that's surely the end for Team Vermilion. With Vermilion all but confirmed to be out, it's now up to Van Helsing to see if he can maybe pull off a late scare. Firebride is the only other one in contention, and she's got a tough match against K-Ratos. In comparison, defeating this Inkling is a lot easier. I know he's not really capable of winning matches as much as he can prove that he can. But if he wants to choose any match to win, he has to make it this one. Alright. Strawberry gets the advantage. Every time he goes that high up in the air, it kind of freaks me out. Because I feel like he's just gonna do something at the ledge. But he does manage to get an equalizer. I say a lot about Van Helsing's lack of intelligence all this time. But if there's one thing I can give him, it's that he's persistent. But persistence doesn't win you matches against Amiibo, I'm afraid. It's being clinical. And it's Strawberry who's looking the more clinical one right now. Ah, the dodge right into Strawberry's brush. Vermilion and Van Helsing are effectively out. Firebride can afford to take it easy against this King K rule. The incentive is basically all on the King to do well, because if he matches or betters MS Hammer's result against Vermilion, then he has a strong argument to go top of the table. And he's pretty much wasting no time here. Whether or not he stays at the summit, however, will fully depend on what happens between Dreadlock and Steeville. Flattened by down smash. Again, you can't contest K-Rool down smash. That's just not the law of the game. She'll at least take one off him, though. Ah, the classic down smash. King K. Ratos with a decisive victory that could see him top the table. At this point, the only thing at stake in Group C is placings, and the Blob will be looking to get as high a placing as possible after their very good performance throughout the qualifiers. And already they're off to a very strong start here. And just like that, levels it up, and even taunts. She's looking for a nice, clean upset. She might have lost her best tool to get that upset, but who knows, maybe that poison could do something for her. Alright, the Blob is in control of the tie right now and even gets Ivy's power. Use her Patooies for good. And all of a sudden, you don't really know where this is gonna go. Very good performance from Ivy. But the Blob transforms into a Patooie and manages to just edge out this encounter. This is the last match of Group C, and I'm genuinely curious how it'll play out. Because yes, you have Steeville, who realistically shouldn't be losing this matchup, but Dreadlock has been the surprise of the qualifiers, I'd say. Being able to get a lot of good results, and they were top of Group C at one point. So it'll be curious to see how this unfolds. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh, that was clean. Alright. Good reversal. She's just trying to spike him over and over again. Steeville is actually struggling. Oh, nope, she's definitely not getting top spot. But she's definitely on course for a high finish. Well, if she can win this match. Which she definitely seems capable of. But all of a sudden, she's on the back foot. And just like that, she threw her very dominant performance away. And Steeville wins again. We're into the final matches of the qualifiers. And we start with Hoxton versus Taskmaster. I think a win today would guarantee that Taskmaster tops the group. He's on 7 wins and 1 defeat. And Pauling is right behind him on 6 wins and 2 defeats. So either he wins to guarantee first place, or just hope that Pauling falls to Fire and Icy. Hoxton's definitely being persistent and not really allowing Taskmaster the free-flowing gameplay that he's usually known for. But even still, he is taking a very commanding position right now, having already taken one stock. Ooh. Very commanding position here. If he holds on to this, then it might be a clean 3 stock. Which he just about hangs on to by the skin of his teeth. He's not hanging on to that one, though. Ah, the clean down air. Taskmaster wins and guarantees his winning spot in Group D. If Pauling manages to win against these ice climbers, then she can guarantee herself 2nd place. But again, she can also hope that Kenshiro loses to Dante if she wants 2nd place and doesn't win this match. And I'm curious on how this will even go, because Pauling is very methodical, but she's also just good in general, as we just saw there. That's not to say these ice climbers aren't good, but they're only selectively good. But maybe that jank could prove to be a deciding factor. It's certainly helping them get back into this match. Pauling disrespecting Popo as Nana dies. That's just rude. And I suppose it makes sense. She did finish in the top 3 last time, only falling to the eventual champion Big Boss. Maybe things will work out this year? Who knows? Oh, nearly. Oh, that's dead. Popo died and it was really gonna do bad things for Nana's recovery. Pauling wins. Megamind is already eliminated and can't qualify even if he wanted to. The only thing he can do is potentially drag someone down with him. And in this case, it's most likely going to be King Cobra, because King Cobra is not the brightest of bulbs, and Megamind does have a very high attack stat. But he might get a result today. Well, presuming he plays his cards right, which he hasn't really been doing. But this could be the one. And what a decisive result it could be. Alright. King Cobra remembering the classic snake kill confirm. Megamind just has to be careful not to let this run away from him. Oh, there he goes. That's definitely something he can do. Just put him in an awkward position and just let him blow himself up. Megamind needs to do something fast here. Okay. It's all gonna come down to this stock. If Megamind is able to force King Cobra to lose, then all eyes will be on Dante and Kenshiro to see which one of them will win. Of course, if King Cobra wins, then there's no drama. King Cobra will just qualify. I would both say they're at each other's kill percent, and King Cobra with a very weird-looking down smash wins. And that's Dante eliminated. It really is kind of soul-draining for Dante that he got eliminated without even having the chance to maybe prove himself against this Ryu. Now all he can do is just try and finish on a high note. These tournament qualifiers have basically been about fine margins, and fine margins are proving to be the factor here. Oh, that's surely dead. Oh no, he just about comes back. But a clean back air will do the trick. Dante does have a sizable advantage right now, but he needs to make it count, as they predominantly fight each other at this ledge. Alright. It's down to last stock for Kenshiro. And to think Dante hasn't even busted Devil Trigger yet on this stock. It's a shame we won't see Dante try and flex his stuff at this tournament, but he can only get better. Kenshiro determined to bring it down to the wire, though. Oh, brilliant finish. Dante does manage to win over Kenshiro, but it comes too little too late. We have one last match to wind us down before we calculate the final results and standings. We have the ever-good Robbie Villager amiibo up against Charlie the Duck Hunt amiibo. Charlie will have an inherent advantage in this tie, being the blue type to Robbie's red type. But Robbie is just good. As you can see here. Look, he only took 3.6%. Robbie doesn't really care about type advantages all that much. He's like Pauling in that regard. Which makes sense since they're both from Animal Crossing. That is definitely going to level things up. This could be a repeat of Charlie's match against Pauling. Especially with how adventurous Robbie is and going that far off stage to challenge. Charlie has very few avenues that are safe. Oh. Alright. Robbie managing to pull it down to last stock for the dog. He's looking to finish strong here. And he certainly is. I honestly won't be surprised if Robbie goes really far this year. Because he's definitely a lot better than he was last year. And that might be a factor at the end of it all. And just like that, Robbie overcomes the type disadvantage to close things out. And that is surely the end of the qualifiers journey. It's been a ride, but now all that's left is to determine the final standings. And who will face who when the tournament comes. In Group A, Mr. T tops the group with 8 wins and 1 defeat. Big Boss is right behind him on 7 wins, and Fortune takes 3rd. TJ Creed and Akira will both not be participating in the tournament, and no result today would have been able to change that. In Group B, Maximilian retains his unbeaten record and tops the group with 9 wins. Beneath him are Colonel Noodles with 7 wins and Darkside with 6. Hermes' defeat to Darkside and Mama Luigi's shock victory over Mira sees Mama Luigi pull off an unlikely great escape, with Hermes crashing out of contention alongside Hurricane. In Group C, King K. Ratos is able to top the group, being just 2 stocks ahead on difference against MS Hammer, who sits 2nd. Stevel, the Blob, and Dreadlock were ultimately separated by stock difference as well, with Stevel leading the way with 6, compared to 5 for the Blob and 3 for Dreadlock. Defeats for Vermilion and Van Helsing see them eliminated and will not be participating in the tournament, much to the relief of Firebride, I would imagine. And last but not least, Group D has Taskmaster top the group with 8 wins, with Pauling just behind him on 7. While Dante was able to win against Kenshiro, Megamind's defeat to the hands of King Cobra means that Dante is eliminated, and King Cobra just about makes it through qualifying. Well, after 9 sets of qualifiers and 180 matches, we now know what the tournament is going to look like. And it's going to look a little something like this. Thank you for watching. Throw us a like if you've enjoyed. Subscribe for more. And I will see you when the tournament hits. Take care now.